Hey everyone, welcome to Balanced Bodybuilding Radio. I'm your host, Leemarie. I am a Glam Girl Bikini coach and an NPC bikini competitor. And I am here with my coach and my co-host.
Hey guys, Amy Enger, founder and CEO of Glam Girl Bikini.
So today we're going to talk about tips for going out to eat at restaurants. And then we're going to end with a little bit of a rapid fire what to order at fast food places. So, as you guys know, this podcast is focused towards competitors in their improvement season and lifestyle clients. So, if you are just trying to lose weight, but you are not in prep for a competition, or if you are a competitor who is not currently prepping. So, if you're currently prepping, you need to be sticking to your meal plan or your macros pretty tightly, depending on how far out you are from a show and the refeeds that your coach gives you. It's going to be really individual. So if you're in prep right now, this doesn't necessarily, these tips aren't going to be for you, but put them in your pocket for your improvement season, because when your calories get higher, when your metabolism is regulated again, you have a little bit more leeway in your program, you can absolutely go out to a restaurant or even stop by at a fast food place, and it's not going to derail your progress. So a little note too that I will say is some of these tips will work if you go out to eat maybe once or twice a month and you can still make progress in it and everything. But I do know that some people, just for their job, eat out all the time. And so if you eat out at a restaurant, 5 days a week, you might have to be a little bit more on the conservative side for some of these tips and tricks that we're going to give you. So I actually don't have a question today, so we're just going to dive right in. So we're going to start with 10 tips for eating out at restaurants if you're in a fat loss phase or just trying to watch your calories. So tip number one is to read the menu beforehand. I love this tip, and I love that nowadays you can Google almost any restaurant and they have their menu online, because there's so many ordering apps for like Postmates or Instacart or whatever that you can basically put in an imaginary online order, not order it, but see everything. And a lot of them actually list the calories or even the macros. So I love that that is the trend now. And I always Google restaurants. If we're going out to eat, I'm always Googling. I'm trying to pick what I have beforehand. I try to log it into my FitnessPal beforehand, figure out my calories, figure out everything. It's such a great hack. Do you do this, Amy?
I remember you did that. Like you would scope out when we were in Arizona. You'd be
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, we're going to this restaurant. They have this salad and
Yep.
like figuring out which one you wanted to go to. But yeah, definitely if I'm doing any sort of meal out, that's kind of what I preview the menu and I figure out if there's something on there that I can eat and if there's not. So
Yeah.
basically, you can always get a salad, just plain lettuce, cucumber, whatever. And I will bring my protein in like pre-measured in like my cooler purse. So no one ever notices. And then I just dump it on which you saw me do that in action
Yep.
when we went to one of the
Yeah.
I just got a salad, a basic salad, and put my stuff on top of it because that's the hard part. I think protein is so hard to get. So, I mean, I know it breaks the food laws in terms of you're not like health codes, you're not supposed to do that, but I've never had anybody like give me a problem about it. And I've done it a lot.
Well,
Most of the time they don't
usually,
even notice. And like I remember
yeah.
once my sister was like, what kind of salad is that? That looks really good. I'm like, yeah, this is like my own food on top of this.
Yeah. I mean, they're not
Yeah.
going to want to kick you out and then the whole group leaves. I mean, they're
Yeah.
still
I
making
mean,
money off of you.
it violates health codes, but tip them well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, and then that's something like I would totally do that too. And if you're
Yeah.
in prep, that's something that you're going to want to stick in your pocket. Pro tip, because you can always
Yeah.
order like a plain salad with like lettuce and
Mhm.
cucumbers. Tell them zero dressing. It's really easy to tell if they've dressed it or not. And send it back if they did. You
I
can
just,
be really picky.
yeah, I'll have them put pico or salsa
Mhm.
or tomato sauce. In an Italian restaurant, I'll just have them do like marinara sauce on the
Mhm.
side because I
Ooh,
do like using that as a dressing, which you
yeah,
can
that's a
track that
great
really
tip.
easily.
I love that tip.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then, okay, so for the ones that are, and maybe you're in improvement season, you are you okay there?
Don't worry. This podcast is all about nutrition. Don't mind me while I'm eating my
Hey,
protein ice
yeah.
cream.
Are you
It's
eating
been a
protein ice
day.
cream? I thought it was yogurt.
No, it's protein ice
Guys,
cream. Ice
guys,
cream sandwich, level
level
one.
one, first form
Holla.
protein ice cream is the best. I will put the link in this episode description because you need that in your life. If you're dieting,
Yes.
if you're not dieting, it tastes amazing.
So you can mix
Um,
it with water, like I was telling you. All
okay.
the other protein ice creams, you have to do like some sort of almond
Or they
milk or
get weird. They
something.
get like icy, if
Hmm.
you like an
Yeah.
icy, but yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's so amazing.
Anyways, we digress.
Anyways,
As I'm
we're serious
dripping
about our ice
protein
cream
ice
here.
cream on my lap.
Okay, so one last point I want to make on this too is like I was saying, if you are a competitor, you're probably pretty used to looking funny and getting funny looks, and it doesn't phase you. If you're lifestyle and you're trying to lose weight and you're just saying, guys, tell me how to go into a restaurant and not be that weird person, I would go ahead, look at the menu, pick out what you're going to have, and then a good tip is to be the first one to order, just so that you're kind of just, hey, this is what I'm getting, and then you don't have to listen to everyone else's order, wonder if you're going to be the weird one, or oh, they're getting that, maybe I should just get that after everyone else orders. Just be bold, be the first one to order, set the standard, then they can all order whatever they want and they'll be
Yeah.
prepared for you.
Yeah. And a lot of times waitresses and waiters are really accommodating,
Mhm.
just because there are a lot of food allergies and things
Yeah.
like people have serious issues. And so,
Yep.
I mean, they'll be very accommodating when it comes to certain things. And um,
Yeah, we're
yeah.
actually talking about that in a later tip.
Oh, sorry. I'm way ahead.
Great. Way ahead. Okay. So tip number two, I'll just go ahead. You enjoy your
Okay.
ice cream. Is to hit your macros all day. So don't try and fast to save calories. This can easily
Yes.
backfire. If you go into a restaurant starving with low blood sugar, you're probably going to order something that's not gonna be, it's not gonna be wise for
Right.
your macros, right? So or you're going to be so hungry that you'll overeat. So you'll actually eat more calories than you need. So it might seem smart to save a whole bunch of calories and only, not really eat anything all day, but you can
Mhm.
do that in a smart way. So still eat your lean protein throughout the day, still eat veggies, have some high fiber carbs. So
Mhm.
you can conserve calories but still get a lot of nutrition throughout the day, so you're stabilizing your blood sugar, you're not arriving to the restaurant super hungry. You might even want to have a little snack that's really high in protein right before you go to the restaurant, like a hard-boiled egg or some egg whites or some non-fat Greek yogurt or something that's gonna keep you a little bit full so that you don't get there just starving, especially since sometimes restaurants take a long time to give you your food and there's things sitting around like bread or chips
Yeah.
and salsa
Makes
or
that so much more tempting.
appetizers. And those are rarely ever macro friendly. Appetizers are made to be high fat, high carb, calorie bombs. That's why they're so delicious.
They actually put those on the table so you get more hungry. Um,
Wow.
yeah, it starts
That's
prompting your
really smart.
yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
you're more likely to order more food and more like alcoholic beverages or beverages in general. Chips and salsa, it's salty, right?
It's so
So it
good.
kind of gets your senses going and
Yep.
makes you, yeah, it doesn't really fill you up.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I call that macro hoarding. I always tell my clients not to macro hoard.
Right. But I feel like there is a way to do it smartly where if like,
Hmm.
especially if you're looking at the menu ahead of time and tracking it, because even if you're picking a healthy option, it's going to probably be a little bit higher in fat just because of the oils restaurants use to cook proteins in. So we can be as conservative as we want, but you can also do things like throughout the day, stick to mostly whole food sources, stick to leaner proteins, have veggies, have a big, huge salad, things like that, that do save some macros for the end without, yeah, macro hoarding. Exactly. Are
Yeah.
you are you
Yeah.
okay with
I
people doing that?
am I doing what?
Are you okay with people doing that, or would you consider that macro hoarding as well?
Oh no, I don't consider that macro
Okay.
hoarding. No, I consider macro hoarding when you just like try to eat one meal before you go out to like a big
Like all
event or
day.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That's
not
me
smart.
macro hoarding.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're eating regular meals throughout the day, maintaining your blood sugars, that's 100% not macro hoarding. That's just like making sure that you're getting protein boluses every 3 hours and keeping your
I
blood
love it.
sugars
Yeah.
stable.
It's more like
Um,
keeping it tight. Just keep it tight all
yeah.
day. Eat mostly like, I hate the word clean, but people know what you mean when you say clean. Eat mostly like whole natural food sources, lean, lower in fat, high in protein kind of
Things
things.
that keep
That's
you
gonna say.
full.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think drinking water too is another. A lot of people think that they're hungry when they're dehydrated, actually. And that's like one of the number one signs you actually feel very, very hungry and you're probably just under as you drink your
Yep.
water.
Yep.
Yeah, you've probably just not gotten enough water. So if you're like us and the waiters don't really like you, this weekend, Leemarie and a bunch of the like glam girl crew, we all went out to a pickleball place and we all ordered club soda. And of course, that cost zero money. And so
That
that
poor
poor guy
waiter.
didn't get, we went ahead and tipped him. But yes, you can definitely fill up with that. I think it's so different than just having water.
It's really
There's something about
refreshing.
it.
I did not think I was gonna like it because I'm such a sweet person. Like I love a good diet soda. But
Uh-huh.
just getting the club soda, but then like squeezing the lime in it, it was so refreshing. Having the bubbles just helps you feel fancier, helps fill you up a little bit, gives you something
Hmm.
to do. Having the lemon, I don't know, lemon and water or lime and club soda, I think that's really good. So order water right away, drink it beforehand, drink it during your meal,
All day
stay
long.
hydrated all day long. Okay, so then the next one, when you're looking at the menu, here's a really good tip is to note how the food is cooked. So they are, especially your protein sources. So there are a lot of words that you want to look for and ones you want to avoid. So you want to look for steamed. This is more like with veggies, I would think. Steamed,
Hmm.
grilled, roasted, or poached.
Rice
So like
too, steamed rice, not fried.
steamed rice, yeah,
Yeah. In
rice.
addition to the veggie, I just
Yeah,
wanted.
veggies and protein. And then you want to avoid words like pan fried, fried, crispy, crunchy, or sauteed. So those words
Mhm.
sound delicious because they usually have more calories and fat. There's usually more oil involved or butter. And then also sometimes with fried or crispy or crunchy, there's added carbs because of the flour and the
Yeah,
coating.
the breading.
That, yeah, the breading.
Breading actually adds a lot of carbs.
Yeah, it's a lot. Not worth it,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
Protein can be so delicious just grilled or baked. And then you can always ask to switch it out. Like if there's a salad or a dish that you love, but it has crispy chicken or, fried chicken, sub it out for the grilled chicken. Like switch it or ask if it can
Hmm.
be one of those other words, steamed, grilled, roasted, or poached. Poached, I would think would be mostly just eggs, but that's just cooking something
Yeah.
in butter.
Yeah. I think even like with broccoli, for example,
Mhm.
they will put butter, garlic butter on it. And I have a like almost an allergy to garlic in a way.
Oh,
So I'll have to ask them for that dietary, you know, and then they're very careful about it. They'll steam it for you. Or
yeah.
if you go to a restaurant and they have a potato, they'll bake it for you if you want
Mm.
them to and give it to you plain. They can make these accommodations. It's not hard.
Okay,
So
a baked potato with salt and pepper and salsa on top.
Hmm.
Try it. Don't knock it. Try it.
Yeah.
It's delicious. It's so good and just basic carbs. Basically almost zero fat, whatever is in the actual potato. And maybe a little bit of protein, but almost total carbs. So it's an
Yep.
easy and very filling way to get your
Mm.
carbs. So then going into the next one, which is what I want to talk about using the food allergy hack, is customize your order. So pick what you want to order. I do this with salads all the time because usually they want to make a salad delicious, right? So we always think of salads as like the healthy version. But honestly, if you go to someplace like Cheesecake Factory, their salads are some of the highest calorie entrees on the menu.
Hmm.
They're like
Yeah.
1,200, 14. I think there was a 1,600 calorie salad. And if you're gonna eat a salad, like
Better
if you
off
eat
eating a
1,600
candy bar.
calories, get a pizza. Like don't get a salad. So I go through and I read all the little add-ins, all the crunchies, all the dried fruits, all the nuts, all the cheeses, and then I make substitutes. So I usually look for the one that already has the most veggies,
Yeah,
and
me
I just
too.
sub out other things. And
Yeah,
so
definitely.
you can always just ask, like, you can tell them you have a nut allergy, or you can say, hey, I need you to substitute this for this, or can you really watch that no butter gets on? Like, I can't have dairy. Say I can't have it. They're going to hear I have a food allergy, but you're actually saying I'm on prep or I'm on a diet. You know what I mean? It's a great hack if you say, like, I can't
Yeah.
have this.
Or
They're
I
going to
have an
know you have an
aversion to
allergy.
that because, yeah, you have dietary restrictions,
Yes,
you
that's
know.
it's a very true way of saying it, but it's serious
Mhm.
because a lot of people actually do. But a couple of great substitutes to make are subbing grilled or steamed veggies instead of a side, um, doing dressing or sauces on the side, always, always, always. Because even if you are planning to have that and you've put that in your macros, you want to control the amount and you want
Yep.
to know that you're actually eating what the amount is that you put on. So I'll do this at coffee shops too. I will always ask for any sort of creamer on the side. Like if you're getting, I always just get black coffee and they always ask, well, do you want cream? I never will let them pour it for me. I always
Yeah.
want to control what goes into my food. So always get those on the side. Another hack is to double the protein. If you need protein
Hmm.
for your day, you can double the protein. It'll take you longer to eat. You'll get fuller. I do it all the time when I'm going out because my protein macros are always really high. And then another hack, I use this especially for salads, is I will choose one or depending on my macros, maybe two fat sources. Because salads, especially, I mean, they do have some added carbs with like dried fruits, and you want to watch for the dried fruits, the croutons, things like that. But they usually have at least 4 or 5 fat sources. So really think about
Hmm.
if they have cheese, if they have olives, if they have nuts, if they have dressing, if they have avocado, all of those things are fats. So I'll do this at salad bars too. I'll choose like one fat to focus on for a flavor, or maybe I'll choose two if I have that in my macros. But that's just a good way to control overall calories. Do you have tips for substitutions that we haven't talked about?
None that you didn't mention, I don't think.
Okay.
So tip number 6 is order a clear broth soup or a salad for a starter. Um, I think, yeah, I mean, those are great ideas when it comes to kind of just getting things started. If like, I would
Mhm.
just honestly ask for no bread to be sent to the table, no chips and salsa. I just don't even want to like have to make that willpower decision with it sitting there. So I just ask him, please don't send me that. You can send like I'll do a salad to start or something like that.
Yeah.
So
Yep. I love that. Okay. I love tip number 7, which is avoid liquid calories. This can make a huge difference. So,
absolutely.
and this is also one of the tips that I would really press for the ones of us that just for your lifestyle, if you have like a professional job where you're eating out a lot, like several times a week, just cut it out entirely. You're going to save so many calories. And so, of course, the one we always think of is alcohol. And there are just so many benefits to not drinking alcohol. Yes, there are some macro friendly drink options that we can talk about too, but by just avoiding that in general, just by cutting it off, you're cutting out some empty calories, but then you're also cutting out the chance that drinking alcohol, even just getting a little bit of a buzz, it might lower your self-discipline muscle and your
Hmm.
just self-awareness. And you might end up
Yes.
overeating anyways. And you've already set yourself up. You've already looked at the menu beforehand. You've already been really good on your diet all day. You don't want to just have one small slip that just leads to just eating too many calories and waking up regretting it the next morning. So that would be my tip, would just to be avoid it in general. But let's say you're going out once a month, it's a special thing with friends. If you wanted to get a drink, what would be some good options, Amy?
Um, I would just say like a diet Coke with vodka or a club soda with vodka or tequila. Um, I do like a tequila with club soda with lime and Splenda, with like a salt rim. So it's like a faux margarita. But I have the problem where when I drink alcohol, like you had mentioned, like I get like kind of the drunk munchies. So my
Mm,
inhibitions and my cravings kind of spike. So I just am not primed to make good decisions. So when I'm in prep, I just don't really drink.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, even no matter how full you go into a, a meal or like as much as you've prepared, it's likely that you're going to veer off the the beaten path. So
Mm-hmm.
number 8 would be watch for health claims on the menu. And that
Put it in
tip,
quotes. Health
yes,
claims.
health claims. So gluten-free, sugar-free, vegan, keto, paleo. Just know that these are helpful. Like if you have a restriction or if your lifestyle is vegan, those are great reasons to, have those considerations, because there's a lot of different things that can be put in, like that are, for example, like the vegan thing, just little tiny things that are not plant-based. So it's good to know about those things, but just don't be under the assumption that just because something's vegan means that it's healthy and that it's
Right.
low calorie and that it's I mean, some of the times, like especially gluten free, they're way more carbs than a regular.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you look at a bagel or bread,
Mm-hmm.
gluten free have way more carbs because they're made out of
Wow.
rice.
Wow.
Um, yeah, so it doesn't mean that it's less calories because it's gluten free, or if you're getting a gluten free bun, that doesn't mean that it's necessarily less calories than the regular bun with gluten. So
Here's a
just
good
keep
one
those in mind.
too. There is there's a pizza place. I know that probably a lot of pizza places do this, but that do like a cauliflower crust, which I
Hmm.
think is great, and I think it can be really macro friendly. Well, I looked up the calories on this crust, and it was 700 calories only for the crust, and that was like a personal size like pizza, like a big one, but like they expected like one person to eat it. I was
Yeah,
like,
it's because the ingredients are usually Parmesan and oil in order to bind it together. And so it's actually has more fat content. So it's great if you're on a keto diet or something like that where
sure,
you
sure.
don't want you want high fat and low carbs, but yeah, it's not going to
Oh,
be
that many calories?
weight friendly. And then sugar free too. I think a lot of people will see like, oh, it's sugar free candy. Well, it doesn't mean it's calorie free,
No,
you
oh my
know?
goodness, no. Calorie free is kind of a myth unless it's
Yeah.
something like salt or seasoning or sparkling water, you know?
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, Also, I didn't put this in here, but fat free, that's not
Oh,
as
yeah.
trendy anymore. But fat free is often high sugar and high
Low
carb.
fat is
Low fat. Yeah,
definitely,
there you go. Like low
yeah.
fat doesn't
Yeah.
necessarily mean. And so yeah, so just be wise. Those claims don't necessarily mean that they're going to be macro friendly. You need to make
Mhm.
it fit your macros. Macro friendly is what fits you for your goals. So then number 9 is to have a decaf coffee or even a tea instead of dessert. And you can, add some stevia if you want to.
Yep.
Um, and that is just like a nice way to enjoy. If everyone else is having dessert, you're participating, you're sipping on something, it's going to help fill you up. Just a great tip to skip the dessert.
Hmm. Yeah. Number 10 is get right back on plan. So, I mean, I think sometimes there are times when a person needs like a free meal just for a mental break from tracking and things like that. So, if you do have a free meal or maybe even like an untracked where you're maybe not doing what you're supposed to be doing, just make sure you move on from it and don't spiral it into like a million different things like, oh, well, I did this wrong, so now I'm just going to go all in on that.
Mm,
Especially I find when people do their free meal as like their breakfast, and then it seems like the
sure.
rest of the day goes down the hill. So,
Yep.
if you're going to do a free meal, if it's part of your plan and that's like what you're getting guided on as part of your regiment, then just try to have all the rest of your food in throughout the day and maybe put it at the end of the day so that you're not going into that meal in a bad space where you
Yeah.
could make a lot more bad decisions afterwards.
Or think ahead, like if you have a brunch, let's say you have a, it's somebody's getting married and they're having a brunch and you can't avoid it. And so you're putting that as your meal. Plan out the rest of your meals and then eat them. Don't do the macro hoarding in reverse and try to fast the rest of the day because it will backfire. So then, a couple hours later, when it's time for your next meal, eat your next meal. Just get right back on track. And same thing for if you're doing something that is not planned. So especially, if you are in the improvement season, you don't have those laser prep goggles on, or if you are kind of new to dieting or you're new to sticking with a diet, you've been doing the yo-yo thing for a while, just let go of that guilt right away. Just push delete, move on, get right back on the plan and tell yourself, like, this is what I do. I eat healthy. I'm a healthy person. I slipped up. That's okay. I'm human. I'm getting right back on the track. And, within a week or so, you're going to be right back to your gaining progress and stuff too. So those are our 10 tips. If you have questions or if you have your own tips, leave them in the comments if you're watching on YouTube, or send us a DM at Balanced Bodybuilding Radio on Instagram and let us know. And then I just want to do some rapid fire fast food restaurants and you can hop in with your orders. Do you have
I got your McDonald's too, just so you
Oh,
know.
good. Okay.
I've got like 5
Let's
for
go.
McDonald's. Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna do rapid fire. I just know that a lot of the people I talk to just appreciate knowing specifically what I order. So I just thought of the fast food places that I can go to in the improvement season, and hopefully, like if you're on a road trip or something and there's a stop, one of these places will be on there. You can order there. I had to start with Starbucks, the first one, because it has my heart. When I go to Starbucks, I always get either a brewed coffee or an iced coffee, and the reason for that is because I'm cheap, and those things are very cheap on their menu. So if I want something hot, I get brewed coffee. If I want something cold, I get their iced coffee. It's just the cheapest thing. And then I can add in what I want. So I'll either drink it black or I'll get sugar-free vanilla in it. If it's the iced coffee, you want to make sure, this is for any coffee shop, you want to make sure you get it unsweetened. Add your own sweetener or sub a sugar-free syrup. Watch out for sugar-free sauces like sugar-free mocha or sugar-free white mocha, sugar-free caramel, things like that are gonna have some carbs in it as well. But the clear ones like sugar-free French vanilla, you're usually gonna be fine. But you could always just do stevia. And then I ask for half and half on the side if I want cream in it. I'm pretty good at eyeballing what the serving size of cream is, and 2 tablespoons of half and half, I believe, is 40 calories. So 40 calories is not bad for a coffee when most lattes are like well over a couple of hundred. You can also get an Americano.
Not if you get my kind of latte though.
Okay, I want to hear about your kind of latte. Well, at
So
Starbucks,
there's only certain places that I go for this because only certain places have unsweetened almond milk.
Starbucks does not.
And I look at their label. I'm like, okay, no, it's probably sweetened. Starbucks is 70 calories per cup. So there's a couple places in town here, like Jinkies has it, and I always go there.
Mm,
So I get a small, not, a no sugar added
mm,
almond milk latte,
mm.
and then I put sugar-free syrup in it. And
I love
then
that.
if
So
I'm
good.
really hardcore on prep where I can't even spare the 35 calories from that latte, then I'll go for an Americano, just like black or putting a sugar-free syrup in
I
it.
want to I want to point out too with the milks, a lot of like Starbucks or the big chains or coffee shops, they'll put the different alternative milks and they're getting really creative with it. So almond milk has been there for a while, soy milk, oat milk. I've even
Oat
seen
milk is
macadamia milk,
so high in
coconut milk.
carbs,
So high in
so
carbs
high
and
in
a lot
carbs.
of them
Like,
have
do not
fat.
be, I think people think
Don't
that's
be
healthy. And I'm like looking at it and
Do
it's so
not be
many
deceived. Do
calories
not
and so
fall
many
for it.
carbs.
Yes.
It's
Yeah. So
crazy.
it's better to go with either make sure it's unsweetened almond milk. Even oat milk that's unsweetened has a lot of carbs. So I know that's been
Oh
like a
yeah.
really high trend, very high calorie. So yeah.
Yeah.
And then
If
if
you're
you're
in
gonna get
bulking
something to
season.
eat at Starbucks, there is not a lot that's good. But if you have fat to spare, they do have egg white bites. They are higher in fat macros, but they do have a decent amount of protein and almost no carbs. So if you got some fat to spare, the egg white bites are delicious. And you can always, if you have just carbs, you can always pick up a banana. They usually have fresh bananas.
Yeah. Yeah. My husband orders those egg bites, the egg white bites, but yeah, they are pretty high in fat.
They're really good.
Um, okay. So since this is rapid fire, we probably should
Yeah,
be
rapid
quick.
fire. Sorry. I'm
Okay.
really passionate about my coffee.
Um,
Okay. So
so
if I go to
I
Chipotle,
don't go to McDonald's, but here's
oh
the
yeah.
top five that I found in Women's Health that they recommend. So apple slices, number one, side salad. It's actually voted the best side salad because all it is just vegetables. It's
Wow.
15 calories.
Okay.
Um, number three is best heart healthy breakfast, fruit and maple oatmeal. Now that one has like
That's gonna have some sugar in
62
it.
carbs,
Okay.
um, and not very much protein. It's 310 calories.
Okay.
And then the Southwest grilled chicken salad.
Not on the menu
Have to.
anymore.
Oh, it's not okay. That
Nope.
was number four on here. And then
I
their
used to get
grilled
that all the
chicken
time.
sandwich
Oh, nice. Okay.
has 34 grams of protein. If you take off the bun, I'm sure there'd be, it says 40 carbs, but I bet, if you just did the lettuce,
Hmm.
and tomato and grilled chicken, it'd
I
probably
didn't
be
know they
really
still
good.
had that either.
I don't know. Maybe this is an old article. I don't go to
They used
McDonald's.
to have some
That
good
was my
salads.
disclaimer. That was my disclaimer. I
Yeah,
never go
I
to
think
McDonald's. I
yeah,
cannot remember the last
McDonald's,
time I ate there.
you're probably good getting the fruit, but you might need to bring your own protein source. But
Yeah, I
on
know
the
they have
grilled
the apple
chicken
slices.
sandwich kick, if you go to Freddy's, which is a fast food place that is around Kansas City, I don't know if it's everywhere, you can get a grilled chicken sandwich lettuce wrapped,
Hmm.
which is really good. And it's I think 200 calories maybe. It's really good macros. So it's a good one. And then, okay, so rapid fire. Chipotle. My order at Chipotle, I love eating at Chipotle in the improvement season. I get a bowl, but I ask for a salad. Salads are actually on the menu, and I just have them put lettuce on the bottom instead of rice. So I get lettuce on the bottom, and then I get chicken because I don't like steak, but chicken or steak, and it gives the calories of the meat. You want to be careful because they don't necessarily weigh out the meat, so it really depends on the person. So I have seen people get meat on the side and weigh it out. So if you're in prep, you could actually bring a scale there, get meat separately and weigh it onto your salad yourself. But then I get the fajita veggies and I track, you can literally type in Chipotle fajita veggies because you can tell by just looking at them, they do cook them in oil.
Mhm.
But and then I just get salsa on the top. It's pretty macro friendly.
Yeah, you got to be careful with the chicken because it's not labeled as to whether or not it's white, all white meat and
Mhm.
all dark meat.
Yeah.
It's a mixture. So I usually order there because my family really likes to eat there. So I'll bring my own meat and I'll get that salad without
Mhm.
meat
What
or
about the steak?
beans or
Would you ever, or are you just not a steak fan?
no, I'd bring my own 96% lean ground beef instead. But yeah.
If you are, though, like a tracking tip is if you are tracking your Chipotle, like you can track their chicken and their, you know what I mean? So I
Hmm.
don't go in and track, oh, grilled chicken 4 ounces, because that's not going to be accurate, right? So anytime you
Yeah.
can type in the actual restaurant and get their
You're just
macro,
it's kind of like that Band Body Nutrition though. Like you won't know
you got to
how
trust
much
them.
dark meat.
Yep.
It's just an estimate and you don't know how heavy-handed that scooper is either because I've seen them be very heavy-handed.
Oh yeah. Well,
Um,
also, here's a good like going back to the beginning. This is if you're going out on an occasion. Okay. This is not if you're eating Chipotle every single day. You might not be making progress, and that might be why. So
yeah.
okay. Subway. You can actually get a protein bowl. They used to have salads, but now they just call them protein bowls. So I get protein bowl. It comes with double meat. So you can ask for half meat if you don't want double meat. I get the chicken. Don't get the stuff they chop up. You have to get the pre-chopped ones. Because that's actual chicken versus I think their chicken breasts are just ground up meat and I don't know what's in it. But I get all the veggies. And then I don't know if this is weird, but I do like mustard or vinegar as dressing, and then I'll have them
Yeah.
put salt and pepper on it.
Yeah. When I'm on the road and I just have my protein, but I need more vegetables, I'll go to Subway because you can get like banana peppers,
Oh,
pickles, bell
so
peppers,
good.
cucumbers. You can get so much on that, whatever's on the sandwich, and just put it in a salad bowl.
Mhm.
And then I just throw my own protein on it with salt and pepper and vinegar. Okay, you said Freddy's, Chick-fil-A. So grilled nuggets are definitely a good one. I do think they have some salads. Just make sure you
Hold
don't
the
do the
dressing.
dressing.
Yes. So they have amazing dressings there, and there's one that's like a green goddess dressing, and I looked up the calories one time and it blew my mind. So yeah, get a super low calorie dressing if you're doing that. But also their diet lemonade is so good. Have you had it?
I have not.
It's so good. I got it once when I was on prep in a drive-through and it tastes I took one sip and I didn't finish it because it freaked me out. I thought they gave me the regular kind. It tastes so sugary. And then I went in later and like ordered one and watched the thing that they poured it from, and it just tastes that good. It's just really good. But then they also have a breakfast sandwich that's called the egg white grill, and it's 300 calories. But it has quite a bit of protein. It's something like 22 grams or something, and it actually has a grilled chicken breast and an egg white in there, and then it's on
Hmm.
a McMuffin, and I get it without the cheese, and that saves you like 50 calories.
Oh, cool.
Okay. Taco Bell. Okay, I am not a
Not a
Taco Bell
go-to.
fan. It grosses me out.
Yeah, I
But
don't go to.
if that is literally the one place on your whole entire road trip and you're dying of hunger, here's how you can order. You can actually order a power bowl, and then you can double the protein. They literally give you like a fourth of a cup of chicken. So I always double the protein. And then I would choose, they do give you lettuce, so you can ask for extra lettuce. I would choose one carb. So I would either choose rice or beans. And then I do my fat trick. So one fat or two fats, but there's quite a bit on there. They have avocado, cheese, sour cream, and olives. So, pick one or two. And then I get extra salsa, the Taco Bell, um, I think it's picante sauce or something, or maybe it might even be their taco sauce. It's 0 calorie. It's delicious. So, in a pinch, you can get that. I wouldn't call it healthy, but it's pretty macro friendly. And then
Yeah,
same thing for Panda Express. I don't know if you've ever tried this trick.
I've
I would
never been there
log
either.
some
I've
extra
never been.
fats on this. It's they cook in a lot of oil, so you're gonna want to add extra fats. But you can get the grilled teriyaki chicken bowl without the teriyaki sauce. So hold the sauce, and then get their super greens, which is just broccoli and kale and cabbage, and it's 300 calories. So at least that's what they say. So,
Yeah,
and then,
yeah.
okay, then I had a question from a listener. She actually asked me, Sandy asked me about Canes, and I looked up their menu because I've never been there
Okay.
and I could not find anything on there. But here's a tip. I know you can do, this is going to still be high fat. All of these things are going to be higher fat. So you're going to want to save some fat macros, ladies. But you can get chicken breast from KFC that is actually pretty big hunk of white meat on the bone, and then you can peel off the skin. I have done that
There you
before in
go.
a pinch. Not since I've been prepping for competitions, but I've always kind of been health minded, and so we used to have a friend that worked there, and so sometimes he would get like bring like buckets of whatever chicken, and I would find the breast, and it's like you find a big one, you can get a decent amount of white meat off of it. It's just still cooked in oil, so you're still going to want to track some fat macros. But there are some places where if you are trying to stick to your diet, you don't have the macros, it might be best to order a diet soda and, wait for the next place or a store where you can get your own healthy
Yeah,
option.
it looks like they have unsweetened tea.
There we go.
That's
You're a
about it.
tea fan. Do you have any other
0 calories.
fast food places?
Fast food, no, I don't really eat that much fast food, but like we just stop at gas stations when we're on the road
Ooh, that's a
because
good one.
they're, you can get like those hard boiled eggs. And if you
Mhm,
don't have the fats, you could just peel off the egg
mhm,
white part of it. They usually have like a container of 2 of those.
mhm.
Or if I'm hungry and I just need something to snack on, I'll get one of those like bags of pickles because those are about 0 calories as well.
Yep.
Um, Jerky is another good option at a
Here's a
rest
tip
stop
for
or
jerky.
something.
A tip for jerky is if you get the black peppered jerky, it has, I think, less than 2% is sugar. If you look at any, even the original, the teriyaki, the sugar is, there's higher amount of sugar in it. But if you get black
Definitely.
peppered for some reason, super low sugar.
Yeah, every once in a while I'll see the Epic bars, which are just
Ooh, those are good.
chicken.
Hmm.
And
Those are,
so those are really good macros. They're like 100 calories or something, and
yep.
it's pure chicken, the sriracha chicken ones.
Every once in a while, I'll see little individual. Usually, you can find the little individual Greek yogurts, but they're the high sugar ones. But
Hmm.
every once in a while, you'll see individual cottage cheese cups. So if you like
Yep.
cottage cheese, like I know QT has them. I used to get those in a pinch.
Yep. Yeah,
Mhm.
definitely.
Okay,
So
so those are our tips and what we order at fast food. So
when we go.
if you have some fast food tips or restaurant tips that we didn't mention and you want to let us know, please let us know either in the comments if you're watching on YouTube or if you are listening, shoot us a message on Instagram at Balanced Bodybuilding Radio. And do you have anything else you want to say?
No. If you would like to apply for our team, you can go to glamgirlbikini.com and hit the get started button. We're always looking for fabulous unicorns.
Absolutely. Okay. Until next time, thank you for listening.
Thanks, guys.